Here we go. And then I am going to, we don't want to take up a lot of time. I know Chris has like 10 million team calls, you guys, legitimately. And so we are super, super, super honored and pumped that he gets to be here with us tonight. And I want to give him as much time as possible. So without further ado, Chris, this is Team Inspiration and like family, like this is our crew. Basically the best people on planet Earth.
I love it.
And we absolutely love you. So I want to give you as much time as possible. Do you want to start with just a little bit about your story? I know lots of them don't know much about your story, and it's really powerful.
What part of the story? That's going to take me like 45 minutes.
Okay, not your whole story. Just like how Beachbody found you, just share with us some of your heart. Like, how'd you come up with Shift Shop? What are you so pumped about with this program? Stuff like that.
So I was discovered off YouTube. Carl discovered me. Actually, where we filmed Proving Grounds, that's where he had the inspired thought to find another trainer. He was on that property. It's a ranch. It's like 100 acres. It's up in the mountains. It's pretty cool. But anyway, he was out there kind of exercising, and he had this thought that he wanted a new trainer. So he went to YouTube and was Googling workouts on turf, and my video popped up out of trillions of videos in this little corner of the earth. And it was actually a video of me training my son, Chris Jr. He was 2 at the time. And that was it. And from there they kind of watched me for 5 months on social media, because what happened is I had a felony. I got in trouble. I had I caught a drug charge from I had a relative. So just to kind of give you the overall story, I had a cousin who had some marijuana sent from California to a vacant home, and the home was an apartment, and it was across the hall from my son's mother, her apartment, right? And so my cousin, the landlord, his wife was battling cancer. So he didn't have time to fix up the apartment. And to kind of back up a little bit, my cousin was in prison for a year. He got in some trouble. And when he got out, I moved him into my home, and I kind of rehabilitated him. And I opened up a quarter of my gym, and because he was a professional boxer, I opened up a quarter of my gym and bought him a boxing equipment, because I knew that if I can keep him in the gym, I can keep his head on straight, because all he knew was boxing. So anyway, over a course of a year, he finally got himself in a great place. I had him mentally stable, physically stable, and he was actually finally making money. So the next step was for him to leave the nest. So I said, all right, you're a big boy now, time for you to get an apartment. And I knew that apartment was vacant. So I went to the landlord and I talked to him about, this apartment. And I said, if anything ever happened, I'll vouch for it. The guy knew me pretty well. I was a pretty popular guy in my town. I'm training high schools and pro guys. So he said, unfortunately, my wife's battling cancer. I don't have time to fix it up. So my cousin said, well, I'll in exchange for the deposit, I'll clean it up. So the guy thinking, okay, fine. So he goes in there, he finds a piece of mail that the girl who previously lived there left, right? So he had his nephew send him 10 pounds of marijuana to this vacant address. He hadn't moved in there yet. He was just cleaning it up. So his nephew, from the story I got, his nephew's like, well, what if the UPS find out she don't live there? Who else lives around there that you would know? He said, Chris's son's mom lived across the hall. What was her name? He told him her name. Didn't think the guy would do anything with it. So the day before this happens, I'm at over there visiting my kids. I saw the police go by. I ain't think nothing of it. Just thought they were patrolling the area. And so the next day, I'm over there again visiting. And when they rolled by the day before, they took the license plate numbers of the cars in the driveway. Well, immediately they just linked this to me because my car was in the driveway, right? And it's just a typical story where it looked like this would happen. So I'm over there, this package arrives. I never physically put my hands on this package, guys. I never touched it. I just looked at it. It had my son's mom's name on it. So I asked her, did you order something? And she was like, no. And then we're looking at the package. Police came around the corner. And they said, Chris, come here. And at this point, I'm like a deer with headlights. Like, what's going on? Like, they came out of everywhere. So they took my cell phones and, told me to put my hands on the car. And I'm thinking, what's going on? And he said, you know what's going on. I'm like, no, I really don't. Like, what's at this point, I'm in a place of like, dude, what is going on? So they take her to the side and they ask her, is Chris a drug dealer? And she laughed at him. Like, she literally laughed. She said, this guy has 2 gyms and he works all these hours. No, he's not a drug dealer. So he said, there's drugs in that box. And she was like, right. And my name, right. So anyway, they take my phone. He tells me to unlock my phones. I unlock them. He's going through my contacts, which are very very important people in my town. How you think this person would knowing that you're selling drugs? I said, selling what? He said, there's drugs in that box. I said, sir, I don't know. I don't, what are you talking about? So to him, in his defense, I'm trying to get out of it, right? So he's going through my phone, and they went to my email to track UPS. 0 traces of me to this package. He pulled up all my tracking stuff from things I've ordered from my gym. Absolutely no trace to me to this package. So he put us together, and he's like, all right, so unfortunately, there's no trace to Chris to this package, but ma'am, it's in your name, so you have to go down for this box. I said, what do you mean she has to go down? What does that mean? Like, he said, we got to charge her with. I said, charge her? I said, wait a minute, sir, she has nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter. It's in her name. We got to charge somebody. I said, well, what if I say it's mine then? At this time, guys, I still have no idea my cousin did this, right? So I said, what if I say it's mine? Is she going to get in trouble? He said, nope, she won't get in trouble if you admit it, sure. I said, then it's mine. So I took the rap for this thing, and it wasn't even my package. So from there, my life like hit rock bottom real quick. So to the community, I have 2 successful gyms, and I'm training, high school teams, which I lost them, and the pro guys live in town, and so it looks like my gyms was a front, like I was living a double life, right? So my kid goes to a really nice school. She starts getting bullied. Now she's like, Dad, tell the truth. Tell him it's not your package. I said, sweetheart, I already admitted it was mine. So I'm out on bail, and out on bond, and I have to go to court in 3 months. So in the midst of those 3 months, my daughter's getting bullied, like really bullied. Your dad we thought he was a good guy. He's a drug dealer, and no one wanted me around their kids, which I understood that. So I'm losing members. I lost my teams. I'm losing money like crazy. And so my kid is getting threatened that people are going to place drugs in her car while she's at school, like under her tire, so that I can get in more trouble. And they were going to plant drugs on my porch, just all this stuff, right? So she's losing her mind. So she's not understanding that I already admitted this is mine. So her and I are like not getting along. So I have a rule at my house where, when she leave for the weekend, her laundry has to be done, because on Sunday we all do laundry. We can't be, all, on the same washer and dryer. So anyway, I come home on Friday, wore out, exhausted, and the washer's on, the dryer's on. She's not there. So I thought she went to Starbucks or something with one of her friends. I called her. I said, what are you doing? She said, I'm at grandma's house. I'm like, you're supposed to be here. She was like, well, I'm not coming back there. I can't sleep. I'm uncomfortable. I'm afraid people are going to plant drugs. No one's going to plant drugs on anything. You need to come back here and finish your laundry. I'm not coming back there. Whoa. It's the first time my kid talked back to me in 21 years. I said, okay. I'm sorry. At the time she was 18 years. I said, okay, you got 15 minutes to get here. 15 minutes goes by, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, no her. Raven didn't show up. So I called her. I said, I'm not coming. Okay, no problem. I'm on bond or not, you're not going to disrespect me. I'm coming to get your car. You grounded. She gets mad. She goes to, here's a kid's a 3.8 GPA student, right? Just a phenomenal human being. She goes to Rite Aid, buys a box of extra strength Tylenol, goes to her grandma's, turns the bath water on, turns the radio up, takes 30 pills, right? Her grandpa just so happened to come home because he forgot his wallet. He has to use the bathroom. They have one bathroom. He's knocking on the door. Can't hear anything, music loud. He goes downstairs and asks his wife, "Why she taking a bath?" And she was like, "Yeah." She doesn't take baths. She's like sitting in her own dirt. So she takes showers. And she said, "That's a good point." Goes back up there and knocks on the door. "Sweetheart, how long are you gonna be in here after use the bathroom?" No, don't hear her. cracked the door. He didn't want to walk in, or he just want to send his voice through the door. Saw her draped over the bathtub, unresponsive. They rush her to the hospital. There's nothing they can do. They send her up to children. She's in the ICU for 4 days. So again, I'm a very popular guy in my town. I go to the hospital. I got security guards and everybody like watching me visit my kid, like very uncomfortable. Child Protective Services gets involved. They tell me I'm a horrible dad and this is my fault. My daughter's fighting for her life and I did this to her and my character is just destroyed, right? I pull up in my driveway from leaving the hospital, get a phone call. My buddy, I had a very huge following on YouTube. My training was in like 215 countries. Pulling in the driveway, my buddy's like, yo, man, unfortunately, I can't do any more videos for you. I can't be affiliated with you with this felony. No problem, man. I understand. I got bigger fish to fry. My kid's fighting for her life. I can care less about a video. So I'm sitting here at $20,000 in the bank, right? YouTube was a way I expressed myself. It was a way that I was able to reach my audience. Had no experience with filming and editing. Went to sleep, woke up the next day, went and bought a whole production. I spent $16,000 on it. Didn't even know how to turn it. Only thing I know how to do was turn the cameras on. I didn't know how to edit, no nothing. So I called my buddy. I said, hey, man, do you know anybody? It was another guy. Do you know anybody who could teach me how to film and edit? He said, dude, I can put some fillers out, but people don't really want to be around you right now. I said, okay, man, please just put some fillers out for me. So one guy said, you know what? I don't care about him getting in trouble. I love to help him. So he comes over my house. He trains me 2 days a week for 3 months to teach me how to use this software, right? Meantime, I was so depressed, I needed to think of things that would motivate me. So I thought about every movie I ever watched as a child that gave me any form of hope, any form of inspiration, and I bought the movie posters, right? So I got movie posters all around my house in my man cave because it kept me motivated. You know, when I was down, I would look at them. And they all meant something, right? And so at this point, I spent my last $2,000. I'm broke. I don't have any money, but I spent it on production and movie posters. So the very first, I was ready to try to, film and edit. The very first video I ever filmed and edited myself was the video that Carl found on YouTube. And so that was the only time I've ever edited, the only time I ever filmed. And it was me training my son. And so crazy. It was kind of ironic that when created Shift Shop, it was really supposed to be an outdoor program. And it was originally called OCD, Outdoors with Chris Downing. So to go back to that, when I was discovered, I hit rock bottom. Like I had no money, but I had posters and a camera and lights. So I had a suicidal thought that like presented itself to me right down here. It was like, just end it. You'll never rise above this. Just go. And I knew at that moment that if I engage with that thought, if I welcome that thought, it would take up resonance inside of me. And it would only be a matter of time before it would give me the creative ideas to walk that out. So right when I had that thought, that's when I knew I was in a really bad place, because now I'm thinking about taking my life. And like, what about my kids? I could never leave my kids here like that. So I wrote myself a letter. And in this letter, I wrote everything I wanted my life to be. And part of that letter said that I would partner with a company via YouTube, social media, Facebook, Instagram, and do great things. So when I wrote the letter in the physical, I convinced myself that I was already living this life, right? I was already a top trainer. I was already physically where I wanted to be. And in the physical realm, I had to literally live as if I was doing it. That means I had to train a certain way. I had to speak a certain way. Every time I got down, I read my affirmations. I literally convinced myself that this was my life and not what I was physically living. And the more I did that, the more my reality started changing. All of a sudden, people started coming back to my gym, and I started treating it as if my gym was packed again. And before you knew it, Beachbody called 5 months later, and it was like, you guys were supposed to call. What took you so long?
Oh my gosh. I have like all the goosebumps. You can't see all the hair standing up, but that is incredible. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So then Beachbody calls, you guys start working together, you create Shift Shop. So lots of us have been through the first round. Lots of us did it last year. Some people have done it in between. What's different then about Proving Grounds and what you've added to it? Because I got my butt kicked this weekend. I'm excited for everyone else too. But tell us about that part.
The crazy part about Shift Shop is we rushed it because remember I said my original program was supposed to be OCD, Outdoors with Chris Downing, but we couldn't find a syncing device that would complement my style of training of engaging, and because it was sirens and dogs barking and we just couldn't find a device. So Carl said, all right, just scratch that. Let's take it back indoors, make it a 21-day program. We'll figure it out later. So we created this program. He came up with the name Shift Shop. And the reason where he got Shift Shop, we couldn't find a name. We tried Level Up, all these different names, and legal kept kicking it out like, no, it's not going to work. And he came up with Shift Shop because he said that my style of training reminded him of a shop where a person would take their car, right? Their beat up car, open the garage door, drive the car in there. Car's in there for 3 weeks. It gets sanded, patched up, and repainted. 3 weeks later, you open the garage door. Here comes your beautiful car. He said, that's what you do to people. You break them down, you patch them up, sand them, and you give them a whole new mindset. He said, and I was like, okay. And so that's what sold me on the name. But I never thought that the program was complete. I thought it was a great program. I thought it was awesome. I had a lot of emotion in it because of what I've been through. And I kind of converted it to like a personal development workout because I was really crying out in Shift Shop just because of things I've been through. And so I never thought it was complete. And so when he talked to me about relaunching it, he originally was just going to have me do some live videos, and I was like, I need more. Like I need new extra workouts. So we decided to shoot it at his ranch where he had the desire of finding another trainer, and that's what completed the program. So Proven Grounds is where he thought of me originally to go to YouTube and find me, and that just completes it all. And it's very, very powerful program. It's very prophetic. It's insane, guys.
So who is this program for? Speaking to coaches who are like, is this right for me? What kind of client is it right for? Who would you say?
So you saw the promo videos, right?
Oh yeah.
I think that answers that question. But
what if they haven't? Pretend they haven't.
Okay, this program is for anybody who has a desire to be better today than they were yesterday. It's just that it's so, I had last week, when we released the quick shift workouts, I got a message in my inbox. It was a lady and she said, I have to tell you that what you did was genius. I did quick shift speed and I'm in a wheelchair. You made the modifications to the point where anybody can do it. And it made me smile. I'm like, you in a wheelchair and you did that? And she said, I'm in a wheelchair. And so I really, if you're an athlete, this is going to be your program because it's going to trigger that inner athlete in you. I don't care what sport you played, that inner grit you have, it's going to fulfill it. If you're not if you never played sports, if you even thought of playing sports, to me, you're still an athlete. You just never had the faith to do it. And so you can modify your way through this. It's welcoming to everybody, and it's extremely motivating. There's two different Chris's in this. There's the Shift Shop Chris, and then there's the Proven Grounds Chris. And the Proven Grounds Chris is a personal trainer. The Shift Shop Chris is like a group fitness trainer. So I'm very, very, my body's different in Proven Grounds. It's a very empowering program. It's very empowering. And I filmed it with a broken foot and a broken toe. So yeah, there's a whole lot of emotion in that program, man.
I love it. How'd you do that?
You know what? Once I got up on that ranch, man, and I had my cast with me, and I needed to draw. I visualized myself being hit, like it was nothing wrong with me, and I filmed all week. Here's the crazy part: 2 days before we filmed, my foot was outside my shoe. That's how swollen it was, and I never felt a thing the whole time we filmed it. I mean, I didn't feel anything.
That's crazy. Okay, so tell us about the coach exclusive group. Why do people not want to miss out on that?
Because it's gonna be one of those coach groups where, like, I'm gonna empower you. Like, it's gonna be more than just a workout. Because where I feel the network is missing is mental. I do. I said on so many different calls, like, you guys don't understand it. You're the heartbeat of this. You're the heartbeat of all of this. If it wasn't for you, like I wouldn't exist. The super trainers wouldn't exist. And I think you guys need to understand your worth and your value. You guys put so much value in us. You know, you see us at events, you go crazy and you get excited, not even realizing that you the one put us on the platform collectively as a network. All your hard work, a commission-based business. There's no promises, right? We got contracts, royalties, salaries, and all of that. But you guys are out in the trenches. Like, you're really grinding this thing out, being able to share different programs with different people. And I had a hard time with that. I'm sitting here, you know, realizing, like, how am I succeeding? And most of the coaches are still struggling. Like, when they put me up here, there's something wrong with that. And I had to break it down. And the only thing I could come to the realization of is you don't know your worth and your value. You don't understand that without you, we don't exist. You know, you guys should start taking some credit for the success of these trainers, man, including myself. What's wrong with you guys sitting there periodically thinking to yourself, wow, you know, me and the network, we're the reason why Chris can put his kids in great schools and live a life of freedom and invest whatever he wants to do and create business opportunities. And, you know, the other trainers, you guys help provide that lifestyle for us. I'm not saying we didn't work hard on our program, but we didn't do it by ourselves. So don't treat us as if we're different. Well, I'm not gonna say us. Don't treat me like I'm different than you, like I'm some kind of iconic person. Guys, I just have a gift, man. I have a gift to empower, love, inspire, and bring out the best in people. Well, guess what? You got the gift to change people's lives because you changed mine. So I need you to understand that. I need you to see your worth and your value and start loving yourself and valuing yourself, and then take that to your team. Lead with your heart. You lead with your heart, it's impossible to fail.
I just could listen to you all night long. Oh my gosh. You're just like the real deal. Do you guys have any specific questions for him that you want to know? I'm so excited about this program. You don't even know. Do you remember when we came up to you in the hallway at Leadership?
Yeah, and you was holding your baby.
Yeah, you gave her a kiss.
Yeah, little chubby cheeks.
Yes. You're just the sweetest. Like, I just hope you know how special you are. You guys, any questions for real? Because I know you're busy. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Do you have anything else specific you want them to know coming into this?
I think, you know, before you do the program, what's really cool about it is the whole prep week. Adding prep week was important to me because honestly, I looked at how 2B Mindset took off. I thought it was brilliant. And I was like, wait a minute. And we were already in the talks about, you know, me relaunching the program. I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to add a prep week to complement 2B Mindset because it's 15 minutes. You could do anything for 15 minutes. So while a person is, you know, adjusting to their eating, you know, lifestyle, it's a 15-minute workout that you can just kind of journey your way through it, you know. But if you have any type of grit and athlete about yourself, that 15 minutes is going to kick your butt. I mean, but it's a fun 15 minutes. And so, you know, when I incorporated the scorecards and the proving ground workouts, it was really so you can track and prove to yourself each week you could get better. The whole key is being able to track your reps and total up your points for the whole workout. Going to the next week, back in the shop, and working on your speed, working on your conditioning, working on your moves, and then test again at the end of the week to try to beat the overall score of prep week. And in that, it just forces you to engage in yourself. It forces you to believe in yourself, to push yourself, and to prove every week that you can get better. It has nothing to do with the scale. Before you know it, you're so caught up in beating your scores every week, you look in the mirror and you done lost all this weight, not even trying.
Yeah. So there's starting on the 22nd, that's when prep week starts.
Right. That's when prep week starts.
Full prep week, then the 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Allie put together a hybrid calendar just to get people, you know, acclimated to prepare for it. And the truth of the matter is, like, if, you know, that calendar, I would do that calendar because prep week is legit. It's real legit.
Okay. Someone else asked about 2B. Would you recommend the containers and like the actual Shift Shop meal plan or 2B Mindset? Like, is there one that you recommend over the other?
I just feel like, if you have a challenger, I would recommend the Shift Shop meal plan, especially if they've never done a Beachbody program.
Right.
That's kind of like, it's very simple. But those of you who've done multiple programs, I want you to choose whatever meal plan that's gotten you the best results, even if it's not mine. I'm man enough and humble enough to say, okay, well, my meal plan didn't work for you. If it's the 21-day fix, if it's the containers, if it's 2B mindset, I want you to do whatever meal plan has gotten you the best results, because that's going to make you feel good. And if you feel good, you're going to work that much harder in the Proven Grounds workout, which means you're going to get great results. So I just feel it's important that, for this program, that you guys focus on feeling good. What meal plan brought out the best in you and gave you the best results? And that's what I want you to do.
Love it. Okay. Courtney asked, when we're talking to people and they ask what Shift Shop Proving Grounds is, what would be like your quick, how would you explain the program?
A very empowering, loving, and inspiring workout. It's literally personal development in a workout program.
I love it. Who doesn't need that? Everybody needs that. Okay. Did I get everyone's questions? I'm trying to scroll through these quick. Were all of the Proving Grounds workouts newly filmed, or are some of them from the original program too?
No, everything was filmed. Was it, Allie, the first week of August? The last week of July, the first week, yeah. So all the Proven Grounds workouts are new. I mean, if you look at Proven Grounds, my body's different than it is in Shift Shop.
I love it. Anything else, you guys? We're super pumped.
She said, how do I get on your next workout program?
Aaron.
I don't even know what workout program that is.
Minerva said, how would you help a person who has a low self-esteem and is afraid to start?
Well, if they have low self-esteem and afraid of anything, they don't love themselves. Before you can give somebody a program, you got to teach them how to love themselves, because that's the foundation to success to me. When you love yourself, you feel good about yourself. You have confidence, and then you use that confidence to take risks. So unless a person loves themselves, it's really nothing. A program can't do that for you. That's something you can always develop it more, but you gotta have a foundation of it. So afraid to start what? Being your best? Like, what are you afraid of? Ask them that question. What are you afraid of? You're afraid to be great? You're afraid to be happy? You're afraid to be in the best shape of your life?
I love it. How would you say you've changed since filming Shift Shop to filming Proving Grounds?
What's changed?
How have you changed?
I'm the same person. I'm the same person before Beachbody. I haven't changed at all. I just became a little more popular, but I'm still the same dude.
But you did say Shift Shop was like group fitness instructor. Proving Grounds is personal trainer, Chris.
Well, if we're talking about as far as a trainer, I think in Proving Grounds I'm more expressive. Like obviously you saw the Tulin clip. Like, I gave her my soul. I had to walk her through that. But if anything, I'm more engaging. By it being my second time around, with filming a program, I was a lot more comfortable. I feel like Proving Grounds is Chris. It's the real me.
I love it. Michelle asked, is it mostly cardio or a mixture with weights?
It's both. It is. The weightlifting in Proving Grounds is way better than the weightlifting in Shift Shop. Like, it's really good.
Anything else, you guys? October 22nd can't come soon enough.
Come on, somebody has a good question for me. I need a really good question, like a challenging question.
Let's see who has a good one. Come on, guys.
10 minutes. I need a good one, like a real good one.
Yeah, they're all pumped for Super Saturday in Utah.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, that Super Saturday, the roof is gonna come off for sure. It's gonna be impactful. Incredible. Is it okay for pregnancy? I want you to modify it, but listen to your body. My daughter is doing incredible. She's in esthetician school. She should be graduating in a couple weeks. So She's doing very, very good. She kind of like, after it all happened, she's like, Dad, that was like the dumbest thing I've ever done. I was like, you think? But yeah, she's a smart kid, man. I just, she's just in a tough spot.
Yeah.
My favorite personal development. I think my favorite personal development book is the one I'm writing in my life right now. Just constantly evolving and figuring out, as a person, maximizing my strengths, overcoming my, the things that I struggle with. That's the best personal development you can do right there. Is yourself. So I'm writing chapter by chapter and creating a book. Let's see here. What's the next question? Do you feel that there's a personal development book that spoke to you? One of the things that spoke to me the most is I have a 9-week personal development program called The Power of I Am. And that book, that 9-week series, we have a winter session starts next Monday. It goes 9 weeks. That, remember I told you when I was in that dark place and I wrote that letter to myself? That was my quantum leap right there. But I would have never been able to materialize even being in front of this camera right now if it wasn't for the power of I am. When I start putting my I am down as far as who I was, and I was adamant about it, and I wouldn't compromise it, that's when my whole world changed. How is being a grandpa? Why would you ask me that? Man, you know what? So listen. About that. When I found out I was going to be a grandpa, I struggled for like 4 months, right? I was mad at her. Like, why would you do this to me, man? Like, I'm too young for that. And then I just woke up one day and said, you know what? I'm about to make grandpa looking cool. I'm about to be the flyest grandpa out there. I'm going to make this look real cool. And then I saw my granddaughter, and when I saw her face, man, it just did something to me. This is the most precious little girl with so much personality, and I look at her and I just shake my head. And now my daughter she's pregnant with twins, so we got an instant Brady Bunch.
Oh my gosh, I know. When Cozy told me you were a grandpa, I was like, no, shut up.
Yeah,
I'm like, isn't he like 35? There's no way.
Yeah, I said no.
Okay, Melissa has a good question up here. Let me go see it. She said, is there anything you can share with us as coaches that you feel we can be doing better?
Yeah, loving yourself. That's the key to success. It really is. Think about this for a second. I'm gonna open you up mentally real fast. What is the common denominator for humanity? Insects do it, dogs do it, humans do it. What's the common denominator? Love. Love. So if that's the common denominator amongst humans and animals and insects, then that should be the foundation of your business. Leading with your heart. Teaching people how to love themselves first. I can tell you one thing. Loving yourself, trying to sell a program and a challenge pack is a lot different than when you don't love yourself. Because when you don't love yourself, you don't really have confidence. That's why you become pushy and salesy, because you're trying to force something. But when you love yourself, you become that product. You become that challenge pack. You see what I'm saying? But most importantly, it's because you become infectious. When you become infectious, guys, you step into a room, your presence demands attention. And a person could not even know what you do for a living. But because there's a light that shines through you in a dark world, people will gravitate to you. They'll come to you, right? And when they come to you, they want to know there's something about you that just makes your presence demand attention. There's something about you that makes me want to talk to you. What do you do for a living? I'm a Beachbody coach. Well, what is that? Then you explain it. And even if they don't understand it, just because you came in that room and lit it up, they're willing to learn. So the key is to love yourself unconditionally. Believe in yourself. Know exactly what you want. Become infectious. I tell people all the time, you guys aren't drawn to me because of my white teeth. You're not. Because of my smile. You're not. It's because I'm infectious. I draw you to you because there's something in me that you need, something in you that you want, right? Look at your team right now. Everybody, if you sign one coach, you're successful. It's just a matter of what level you want to take it to. Everybody is drawn to you for a reason. Sometimes there's people in your team that believe more than you, and you believe in yourself, but you don't know it. Why are they on your team? Nobody's going to follow a loser or somebody's going to lead them off a cliff. There's a reason why they're on your team. There's something in you that they want to add to their craft to bring out the best in them, right? But if you don't know this and love yourself, how are you going to lead them? Does that make sense? Someone asked me, Chris, if you had a challenge group, like how would you run a challenge group? Man, I would love my challengers. Before you even talk about a program, what do you want? How are you going to pursue a business if you don't know what you want? Think about that for a second. How can you run a successful business if you can't tell me details what you want? That means you're just running around here unconsciously. So if you struggling and have good moments, down moments, it's because you have no sense of identity in who you are. When you know who you are, you know where you're going. When you know where you're going, now you see the distractions. It's crystal clear. My bear says it all the time. Earplugs in, blinders on. You know exactly where you're going. The good news is you guys are still succeeding even though you was unconscious. So that's supposed to tell you right there that you got a great purpose. Now imagine this. Imagine consciously moving forward, knowing what you want. If you're a 5-figure coach, you have a desire to be a 6-figure coach, you wake up tomorrow, you do the duties of a 6-figure coach or a 7-figure coach. That's how you change the game. You do it by faith. You walk that out. What does a 6-figure coach do on a daily basis? What does a 7-figure coach do on a daily basis? And even if you don't physically have that, you project it as if it's already happened, and it has to track you down. Before you became a 5-figure coach, you drew it to you, but you did it unconsciously, not knowing your worth, not knowing your value, right? The minute you start loving yourself, you will get value in yourself. You'll take pride in who you are and everything you was created to be. The money will chase you based on how you value yourself. Think about people who are on welfare. They confess it. They know they're on welfare. They say they're on welfare. Guess what? They're on welfare. It's practical.
You need to play this on repeat every single day. That was a good question, Melissa. I think you should get a gold star.
Yeah, give her a star.
You brought out the good Chris. We like your heart. Minerva said, what can we expect in the coach exclusive group? Are we going to get some of this every day?
This is exactly what you're going to get. I got 4 weeks to make sure you leave this group better physically and mentally. Because nothing's promised after that. I got 4 weeks to make sure you leave this thing changed. That's why I tell people, I've been telling people, you'd be crazy not to influence your team to do it. Watch this. Imagine if your teams was in this test group, right? Number one, I just did all the work for you. In 4 weeks, all of you guys are going to leave the group with the same mindset. How do you not succeed that way? Instead of you getting there, going through all this work for 4 weeks and taking it to them, and they kind of like, oh, yeah, cool. Okay. Imagine them being in the group with you and getting the same information you're getting. It's not going to be a salesy coach group. The way to work on your business is working on yourself.
100%.
And that's how I feel.
Love it. If you guys aren't in there, I'm going to punch you in the face. Okay?
That's abusive.
It's okay. Sometimes they need it. Let me see. Aaron asked, what do you do daily to grow your self-love?
Every day, I have gratitude. I sit in my living room before I leave my house. It's dark. My kids are asleep. And I just take it in. I close my eyes and I just visualize everything that I've become. I'm so grateful for it. The opportunity to have freedom and have the creativity to do whatever I want, to be able to know that when I walk out that door, I got to leave better than I got to come back better than I left. And me knowing that, like, how many lives can I impact through social media, through just reality, even if it's going to a grocery store and paying for somebody's groceries, how can I impact the world today? And when I come back at home at night, I can look in the mirror and be like, well done. Because I know it's bigger than me. I know it's bigger than me. And I'm grateful for every opportunity that's presented itself to me. Because if you got, come on, you know my story. That's why it's not hard to stay humble. I know where I came from. I don't ever want to experience that again. There ain't nothing in this world that can make me go back to that.
Amen. Yeah, for real, Amanda. How will the workouts work? Can you do them any time of day? Someone asked that.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you. Just get it out the way. Get it done and get it out the way, because you need to get it out the way. I would just get it over with. Get it over it. Somebody asked a really good question. Would you change anything about the past with the felony? Absolutely not. Heck no. No. Because my mess became my biggest message to the world. I wouldn't change anything. That situation, here's the crazy part. This is the mind-blowing part of it. So after I got announced, my cousin felt so bad because of, what I went through. He became a coach.
No way.
How crazy is that? So it's like, man, I wouldn't do it again, but I definitely don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. I'm glad I went through that. It brought out the best in me. The prep workouts are 15 minutes. The proving ground workouts are 30. I didn't want to do anything over 30 minutes. I thought it was unnecessary. I don't like doing long programs. I just want to split you wide open for like 30 minutes and then send you on your way.
So they're all 30. There's no phase.
No, proving ground speed and proving ground strength is 30 minutes.
Okay.
And the quick shift workouts are 15. And the sample workouts 20. But you know that.
Love it. All right, you guys. Do you have more calls tonight, Chris?
No, I'm done.
Oh, good.
Any more questions? I got 7 minutes.
All right, you guys, 7 minutes. Anything else?
I can't believe you don't have questions. That's crazy to me. Lauren, you have questions. What are you thinking about? Just calling her out.
I love it. Anything else, guys?
Oh, no.
Do you have a goal for how many people you want in this test group with you? No,
because the people who are in the group is the ones supposed to be in there. Like, I don't, this program, for me, it's not about breaking records. I could care less about that. I'm at a point in my life right now in my career. It's like, every life is the most important life, even if it's one person. So I don't need the ego stuff. I don't care about breaking no records. None of that matters to me. I've been so fortunate to have other things going on. A book is going to come out, a new clothing line, and all these great things. It's like, why would I focus all my energy on, having all the records at Beachbody? I can't take them with me when I leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Someone said, Melissa said you need a podcast.
You know what? I bought everything for a podcast. I just haven't hooked it up yet.
All right. Well, add that to your list.
Yeah.
And everyone already said a book, so that's already in the works.
If you could give one piece of advice that would take to heart and live by, what would it be? Love yourself. That's it. Like, I'm trying to tell you, like, I know it sounds crazy, but that is the key to success right there. It is. And I'm talking about, like, that's it. Self-love is everything, guys. That's the foundation of it. I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for that. There's no way.
So what advice would you give someone who's like, well, I want to love myself, but right now I don't? Like, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to take my 9-week personal development program, The Power of I Am, that starts next Monday. Because there's 9 weeks of stuff that we have to work through. Like, number one, the reason why most people don't love themselves is because they hold on to some kind of unforgiveness. They from something that happened in the past. And people don't understand that, like, even, all of us up until this point, no matter where you are in your life, how successful or not, there's been a series of events that's happened up until this point in your life that shaped your reality. Why, how you think about yourself, how you think about your kids, how you think about your family, how you think about your business. Those events have shaped you, right? So if you're struggling in your business right now, that has something to do with the past. Somebody told you wouldn't amount to something. Somebody made you question your ability. Maybe you live in your life through somebody else's lenses, doing something that somebody else wanted you to do. They projected their fears, worries, and insecurities off on you. But because you didn't have a sense of identity, you're living their life. Think about this for a second. How many people have allowed people to rent space in their head? Think about what I just said to you for a second. How many people have you actually allowed to rent space in your head? And you carrying that anchor with you everywhere you go, to work, to church, to your kids' games, to other events. You carrying that anchor with you. While this person is out there living their life, you still stuck with the bondage of that, right? You trying to run a business and you got them with you. And it's an anchor and it's holding you back. And all you got to do is forgive this person, not for their sake, for your own sake, because they got a piece of you. That part of you that you need to take your business to the next level, that person has that. So you got to make a decision. And this is what we go through in the power of I am. You got to make a decision. Your pride versus your purpose. Which one is it going to be? Your pride is going to tell you, I ain't forgiving them. I don't want to talk to them. I'm okay. I'll get through it. But your purpose is so much bigger than that. Whatever you allow your purpose to go fix, you'll get blessed multitudes of that. Here's a prime example, guys, and I'll let you go. I want you to think about this. When I was a kid, I was molested twice, right? 4 and 6. My mom was a prostitute. My dad wasn't in my life. I was adopted. I grew up a kid with low self-esteem, brokenness, right? No sense of identity, no blueprint of how to be a man, no anything. But I had an athletic ability. I used sports to channel my hurt. 21 years old, I have a kid. I get full custody of my daughter when she's 2 months old. But I'm raising my daughter out of fear. Fear that she don't live the way I live, right? I got to protect her from everybody. And I'm missing the beauty of my child. I love her, but I love her with fear. I'm raising her with fear. Everything is about fear. I'm afraid to let her stay at people's house because of things that happen to me, right? And all of a sudden, I have an awakening. I'm realizing I'm carrying these anchors with me everywhere I go. The anchors of the dude that molested me, right? The anchors of my mom not being there, allowing me to get taken away by the welfare system. The anchor of my pops not being in my life, right? So I had to make a decision. I'm at a picnic one day, right? And at the picnic next door, all these years, is the guy who molested me. And I always told myself, if I see this dude, I'm going to split him to the white meat. In black terms, I'm going to crack his head, just in case y'all don't know what that means. So don't be going to your little friends saying, I'm going to split somebody to the white meat. Don't do that. So I walk up to this dude, right? And this was my moment because I already knew that I was carrying anchors. This was my moment right here to get part of me back. All this time I'm raising my child on 70% of me, 30% of me is missing. He got a percentage, my parents got a percentage. So I walk up to the dude, same face, just got hair on it. I look the exact same way I looked as a kid. I said, man, can I talk to you for a second? He knew it was me because he knew my aunt, and my aunt lived next door to his sister where he was at the barbecue. I said, come on, I just want to talk to you for a second. I'm a big dude, guys. He was terrified. You can see the fear on his eyes. I walked off with him. I said, listen, man, I always told myself if I ever had a chance to see you, that I would apologize. I would allow you to apologize for what you did for me, but I'm not gonna worry about that. I really pulled you to the side to tell you that I forgive you for what you did. And I hope that you never put your hands on another child and violate them the way you violated me. I said, but from this moment forward, man, you don't have to look over your shoulders no more. I forgive you for what you did to me, man. And I gave him a hug, right? And I walked off. I couldn't even stay at my aunt's picnic. I just got in the car, I had to leave. I'm bawling my eyes out like a child. And now these tears that was once hurt was therapy. So I get in my apartment and I'm just bawling. And I'm talking about, the thick tears, the ones that when they fall and they drop, you got to look because you like the thick ones. You know what I'm talking about? The ones that give you a headache, the ones that when you cry, you know what I'm talking about? Those ones. So anyway, while I'm already in this zone, I started picking up my phone. I called my mom. I said, Mom, I just want to forgive you for everything you ever did to me, not being there. Make up in my life what you would make up in my kid's life what you didn't do in mine, and we're good. I called my dad, said the same thing to him. All of a sudden, I cry some more, and the more I cry, the more free I become. Right? These anchors they're removed. And all of a sudden, there was one other person that I needed to forgive. And it was me. Week 2 of the Power of I Am. Forgiving yourself. Forgiving myself for holding on to that pain. Forgiving myself for looking in the mirror, not liking the reflection. Forgiving myself for all the pressures I put on raising my child. All the hurt that I carried. Forgiving myself for raising my daughter on 70% of me and not the whole 100% of me. I started realizing that I need to forgive myself for all the things that I dealt with all that time, all the pressures I put on myself. Always focusing on the things that was wrong with me and never focusing on the things that was right with me. And I became free. And when I started forgiving myself, guess what else happened, guys? I started loving myself. All of a sudden, I got a little mole right here, right? I got a butt chin. All of a sudden, that butt chin used to get picked on when I was a kid. I started embracing it. You know, I got a butt chin. I'm unique. I'm different. Not everybody has a butt chin around me. There's nothing wrong with that. And then I started embracing my high cheekbones because my grandma was a Blackfoot Indian. I'm the only one in my family with high cheekbones. I started embracing all the things about me that I used to get picked on about. And then all of a sudden, wait a minute. All my pain that I went through was converted to passion. And the passion that I have is the passion that you guys see on that stage because I just want to bring out the best in you. I just want to love you. I just want to empower you. I just want to inspire you to be the best you can be. So it was meant to destroy me, brought out the best in me. You see what I'm saying? But I would have never realized that unless I knew the power of who I was. And now this power is magnified all over the world. So I can stay back humble and watch this happen, knowing that there was something in me all along that was bigger than my pain, bigger than my hurt, bigger than my past, bigger than my problems. But I had to make a decision. Is it going to be my pride or my purpose?
Okay. Now everyone's asking, how do they get access to the Power Button?
I think the best way to do it, you can go to my Instagram. I think I posted something about it earlier today. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. Just go to my Instagram.
Chris Downing.
Yeah, go to my link tree and my in my Instagram thing, and it's in there. You can find it in there. But does that make sense to you, though, guys? Think about it. Well, yeah. Somebody else just posted it. Does that make sense to you, though? When you get off this call, I want you to think about your anchors. You know your doubts. You know your fears. You know your worries. You know what's holding you back. And I bet you trace it back to the past, you'll find that event. And you got a decision to make. I'll help you get through it over the next 9 weeks. All right? All right.
Chris, thank you.
Let's change your life.
Thank you so much. We can't wait to see you in the group, and we'll be busting booty.
See you guys soon.
All right. See you, Chris.